Hold on to your seats, because a sixth-round rookie is completely tearing up training camp and forcing his way into first-team snaps right before our eyes. This freakish athletic monster with rugby roots is turning heads, dominating one-on-ones, and making veteran coaches lose their minds over his raw power. Could this late-round draft steal be the exact missing piece that transforms our defensive line into a legitimate powerhouse this season? Before we dive into the madness, smash that like button, share this with your fellow diehard fans, and hit subscribe so you never miss a single break from camp. Have you ever seen a late-round rookie step onto the field during padded practices and immediately start making established veterans look like they are moving in slow motion? Because that is precisely what is unfolding right now with Jordan van den Berg. When the draft wrapped up, most casual fans swept a sixth-round interior defensive lineman out of Georgia Tech under the rug as a project or a depth piece at best. But since pad practices kicked off and we entered the thick of summer camp, this guy has been an absolute wrecking ball. He is not just taking third-string reps and holding his own against practice squad guys. He has been actively rotating in with the first-team unit for over a week straight. Every single coach, insider, and teammate who gets put in front of a microphone has done nothing but rave about his work ethic, his raw strength, and his unbelievable motor. In one-on-one trench drills, he is routinely pushing offensive linemen backward, including his fellow rookie draft classmate Logan Jones, who has been having a nightmare of a time trying to anchor against Van den Berg's explosive leverage. His ascension up the depth chart is moving at such a blistering pace that he is no longer just a guy fighting for a roster spot. He is virtually guaranteed a roster spot and is rapidly earning a legitimate role in the weekly defensive rotation. The coaching staff is completely enamored with his development. Head coach Dennis Allen pointed out how quickly Van den Berg absorbs coaching points, noting that his low pad level, explosive stance, and violent hands at the line of scrimmage are causing absolute havoc. All those jaw-dropping athletic traits that made him look like a total combine freak, including that legendary viral video of him effortlessly leaping out of waist-deep water, are translating directly onto the gridiron. 7-year veteran defensive tackle Neville Gallimore even stepped forward to publicly state that this kid is destined to be an absolute menace in this league. When national insiders like Albert Breer visited camp to inspect the roster depth, the entire defensive tackle room stood out far beyond expectations. While established starters like Jervin Dexter Sr. and Grady Jarrett anchored the interior, along with edge rushers like Deo Odiengbo sliding inside on obvious passing situations, it is the unexpected depth that has the front office buzzing. Van den Berg grew up playing rugby in South Africa before making the leap to American football, and that sheer, relentless aggression is proving to be a massive weapon. Seeing a guy with that background adapt this quickly and force his way onto the field gets you instantly hyped for what he is going to unleash during the preseason games. Pairing elite energy with disciplined technique on the defensive front is a recipe for pure destruction, and he is delivering both in spades. Which brings us directly to our question of the day, and I want everyone to drop their answer in the comment section below right now. Given his explosive camp performance, should Jordan van den Berg be named an immediate starter on week 1? Or should the coaching staff ease him in behind the high-priced veterans? Let me know your hot takes down below, because this debate is splitting the fanbase down the middle. Looking across the rest of the roster, as we march closer to kickoff, the excitement surrounding young talent is infectious. Fans are keeping a close eye on wide receiver Xavion Thomas, who is currently managing a minor knee issue, but everyone is itching to see him stretch the field once he gets cleared. Meanwhile, third-year receiver Rome Odunze is putting together an absolute clinic of a summer camp. After a frustrating second season hampered by a lingering foot injury that stalled his momentum, Odunze looks fully healthy, explosive, and completely locked in. With rookie Luther Burden III briefly sidelined, Odunze has seized the spotlight, establishing himself as an undeniable, dominant target for quarterback Caleb Williams. If Odunze can replicate his college catch-point consistency and maintain this level of performance week in and week out, we could easily be witnessing a breakout season that propels him directly into his first career Pro Bowl selection. Now, while our camp is radiating pure positive energy, the rest of the league is dealing with absolute chaos and brutal injury news. Look no further than the Washington Commanders, where quarterback Jaden Daniels just received a massive, season-altering blow. Their elite star left tackle Laramie Tunsil suffered a torn triceps that required surgery, putting him on a grueling 4-month recovery timeline. Losing your best offensive lineman and an elite pass protector for virtually the entire regular season is a nightmare scenario for any young quarterback trying to settle into a new offensive scheme under new coordinator David Blau. Daniel struggled with multiple injuries during his rookie campaign, and now Washington is forced to shuffle their front line by sliding Brandon Coleman over to protect his blind side. That massive blow completely alters the competitive landscape in the NFC, proving just how fragile a team's championship aspirations can be when bad luck strikes the offensive line. Looking back at our own offensive firepower, the depth at the skill positions is sparking huge debates among analysts. Some fans believe that if everyone stays healthy, this offense could realistically feature 5 different playmakers clearing 600 receiving yards this season. While the depth is certainly present with dynamic weapons like DeAndre Swift, Kyle Manengai, Colston Loveland, Sam Roush, Cole Kmet, and Khalil Raymond, the real key to offensive dominance isn't spreading the ball around evenly, it's having a dominant lead trio. If top options like Oduns and Burden can combine for over 2,500 receiving yards, the offense becomes virtually unstoppable, leaving the backfield and tight ends to feast on whatever defenses leave uncovered. When the preseason games kick off, all eyes will be locked on the critical positional battles further down the roster. Quarterback Tyson Bagent needs heavy preseason reps not only to secure his spot as an elite backup if Caleb Williams ever has to miss time, but also to showcase his growth and potentially boost his future trade market across the league. Down in the trenches and across the secondary, young guys on the roster bubble like Caden Davis, Johnny Walker, Dylan Thieneman, and Malik Muhammad are fighting tooth and nail for every single snap. The sheer luxury of entering a preseason where we do not need to stress over our starting quarterback's basic development is a refreshing change of pace for this franchise. Beyond our own front yard, injury bugs and uncertainty are creeping up all over the division. Detroit lost starting center Cade Mays for a massive chunk of the season, threatening an interior offensive line that was already struggling with consistency. Minnesota is mired in a completely chaotic quarterback battle where either contender has managed to pull away cleanly. Green Bay is bracing to play the opening stretch of the schedule without defensive powerhouse Micah Parsons, who continues to recover on the physically unable to perform list. Every bump, bruise, and roster shakeup across the division directly impacts the path to a division title. At the end of the day, success hinges on how effectively this team controls the line of scrimmage and executes when the lights come on. With a ferocious defensive rotation taking shape, hungry young playmakers breaking out, and preseason action right around the corner, the energy surrounding this team is at an all-time high. Lock in, get ready, and let us see how high this squad can fly when the real battle begins.